Welcome to the first In the Blues Tone podcast, and I've thought about doing this for quite some time. I always liked the idea of radio when I was younger. I thought that's maybe where I wanted to go when I was a kid. I didn't know in what capacity. I thought I would do a podcast relating to tone and also stream it on YouTube as well. So this podcast is obviously available via iTunes for free. You can listen to it on there. Now, I've wanted to cover a couple of different topics on the first one and then get some feedback from all the listeners, either from YouTube or via email or Facebook. So feel free to comment on any of this wherever you may be listening around the world, and also let me know where you are too. That's always cool. The first thing I wanted to cover is Chibson guitars. Now, these are basically like the Chinese Gibson guitars. I'm actually guilty of buying one of these from China quite some time ago. You know, in hindsight, it's pretty hilarious, but the first time that I used it, it worked for about 8 seconds and then it stopped working. I plugged it in, turned it on, I had sound, I played an E chord maybe or something, or maybe an A, and then it just faded out and I had no more sound. So that was my horror story. It cost me, I think, $550 back then, which was probably around $600 or $700 Australian. So I really got quite what we call jibbed. So I got ripped off big time. And it was one of those things where I felt like, you know, maybe it was salvageable. So I took it to a guitar tech that I knew, and he said, you got two options. Either you can flip it on eBay and get rid of it in its condition, or you can use it for firewood. So I ended up taking a pretty huge loss. I think I sold it for about $250 on eBay. And and the funniest thing was it had no block on the inside of it. So it was literally like a hollow version of an ES335, which it was unplayable and it stunk as well. It was it just smelt awful. And that was because the varnish didn't have time to air off or anything like that. So it totally smelt bad. And yeah, it just stunk out the house. That did go away over time, but you know what? I'll give him credit on one thing. It was packaged really, really good. It was wrapped in bubble wrap, about 30 centimeters or a foot deep on it, all around it, inside a case. And then that case was actually packed with, it was taped around the outside with this bright yellow tape. And ever since then, I'll never buy another Chibson or a fake guitar. Let me know, if you've bought one in the past or whether you own one and it's good. I'd love to hear some good stories about that. For me, the only Chinese guitar that I'm going to buy is either an Epiphone, because I know that their quality. The Korg guitars are good as well, but for me personally, the Classic Vibe will be, or the Squier Classic Vibes are as good as they get for their price. And you know what you're buying. So yeah, stay away from some of those Chinese sites. I think they're definitely unique in their approach to building guitars. And they actually asked me for feedback when I complained about it not having a block on the inside. They didn't know what that was. So yeah, I thought that was pretty hilarious.